Welcome to the Freedom Chronicles.
Definitely an antisocial type.
Only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger.
Hi, perhaps you recognize me. It's your favorite president.
In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
We got a loudspeaker here, and when we go into battle, we play music very loud.
With a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Freedom Chronicles. I'm your host, Mike Imbasciani. Thank you for joining us. And we are, of course, broadcasting from the Brian Chapman State Farm bunker right here in Southwest Florida. And like a good neighbor, Brian Chapman State Farm is there for all of the insurance needs that you have for your very own bunker. Give us office call at 941-625-9998 or visit the office at 2040 Tamiami Trail in Port Charlotte. Now, this is the Christmas episode. So it is only fitting
on an open fire
that I have my
your little elf hat,
my little Santa Claus hat. There we go. It won't stay on forever. So
like
take the screenshots while you can.
Elf on a shelf.
Yeah, elf on a shelf. And Ken Lovejoy with us as always. And for the first time, very happy to have Mary Flynn O'Neill. How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful.
Now you hear that last name, folks, and you go, yes, that is the sister of General retired Michael Flynn. So
You'll
thank
always
you.
be a general.
Always a general. Yeah.
Once you get general, you can say retired, but you're always active.
Yeah. So thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. I love it. I'm thrilled. I'm in the Christmas spirit.
Exactly.
Finally, this past Monday, I started to feel.
Did you?
Yeah.
You felt jolly?
It's taken me a little while this year.
Well, you got to remember what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to remember what it's all about. And it's
Jesus is a reason for the season.
Exactly.
That's right.
So you are the executive director of America's Future, and I have your mission statement here. I want to read a little bit of that. It's the nation's leader in the fight to preserve American values and ideals, protect the nation's constitutional republic, promote strong American families, revitalize the role of faith in our society, and advance the virtues of free market capitalism. Now, some may say that sounds a little what's the word everybody loves? Insurrectionist.
Well, we're 78 years old this year.
I love it. I love it.
So this is an old organization, one of the first nonprofits in this country.
Wow.
And these guys were writers, military, businessmen, and, loved this country, but they saw the beginnings of communism sinking through our systems. And they were warning us the way they could in those days through print and radio and so forth. And then technology sprang in, TV and so forth. So lots of books were written, lots of pamphlets. I did a background search on this organization because I don't think my brother really realized really the rich history of this organization.
Yeah, founded in 1946. I mean, right after World War II. So everything was very fresh about how quickly freedom can die.
And General Singlub, John Singlub, very interesting character. I find him to be a character. He was a general, but he was an intel, and he was very much a forward founding man of intel in the military. He was very similar to Michael when Michael changed the way intel was being brought in by going in Afghanistan particularly, and the ground floor going into the villages and actually speaking to the people.
Interesting.
Michael changed intel. Like, you can't get the correct intel when you're going on a radio into a second lieutenant and go to the people. That's Mike.
Right. Find out on the ground.
Yeah. Get to know them, befriend them, and let them know who you are and what you were doing. That's what they did. And this General Singlub was the chairman of this, the last standing chairman of this, and he wanted Michael to take this over. And Mike was busy, got pardoned at that time, and but for some reason, I think it stuck in his head that maybe this was something that we should do, and thank God he did, because it's a very original, very amazing organization, and I have found documents on Nixon, I have found documents on, you know,
Nixon.
I know, like all kinds of, I found a publishing house. We were a publishing company in 1938. Thomas Jefferson, The Forgotten Man, was written, many other books. And so, and so it's just done a lot in the history of this country, this organization.
Yeah.
So, you know, so Mike became the chairman, asked me to come along, and it was a startup though. It had been dormant for about 2 decades maybe, because Phyllis Schlafly had it.
Okay.
And she was just publishing her books and whatever.
Right. So it was basically just an avenue, like a nice hub for people to use for books or for writing. If you, you know, you came to them with a certain material, they could help you get it out there.
Yes.
But you wanted to take a bigger.
Yes. When I looked
with
at
Well,
it.
now we have technology.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can have a bigger footprint.
And,
Right.
and what you just read, you know, it is so relevant today.
Right.
Oh,
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah.
here we are, you know, 78 years this year in April, and we're still, and now we're facing communism. We're facing it right in our
living it.
faces. We are living in it.
Yeah, we are living in
We
it.
are seeing something, you know, unconstitutionally happen every day to Americans.
Yeah.
Every day something is bad.
It's hard doing this show because we do it once a week. And so when something happens on Monday, you go, oh, I can't wait to talk about that on Wednesday. And by the time Wednesday rolls around, it doesn't matter anymore.
It's the same thing doing my show.
Oh, yeah.
I'll have stuff all lined up ready to go, and then I get up the next morning and look at the news, and well, that's all.
It's gone. Yeah,
it's gone.
Yeah.
The news cycle is just turning over so quickly.
And
these days.
and the mainstream media is flipping out.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
flipping out. Which
Good.
is,
I don't watch them anymore. So.
Oh no, but they're having to face the truth though.
Yes.
It's getting more difficult for them to not report what's going on when they're being arrested. And you know, in my world, in the children's world, and what we're doing today, we're seeing a lot of exposure going on. We're seeing people being arrested, especially the Epstein. You know,
I love
the
that
list that the judge just
and the photographer, all these pictures that are coming out.
Oh
now,
yes,
that we just saw Gates, the very jaundiced-looking individual who's very unhealthy, wanting to push all this crap on,
running out of the children's blood.
Him right there, taking a picture with a girl who was accused Epstein of what he was doing.
Yes. Well, you know, you've got this, you know, 170. Thank God a judge, you know, finally, saw that.
Do you think
we
we're going to
to
see that though?
Well, here's the thing. It's hard today with all the digital soldiers out there.
Yes.
To not uncover. They're uncovering. And I know that the people that I know are extremely good at finding, you know, sorts and things that are most people would never even know where to go. But I just think,
well, that's what I find so interesting. I made this, you had the kid at the Chiefs game, you know, wearing the blackface, right?
Yeah.
But his other side of his face was red, and it was for his team.
That's right.
But if you remember the Covington kids and that whole incident, which again, the kids were fine. It was the other guy who got in the kid's face.
Yeah.
But that took what, a month to really come out?
Yeah.
This Chiefs kid,
the day after,
if not the day, you know, people are sick of the nonsense.
Oh, I know,
and
they are.
They're doing the digging themselves.
They are.
Or when you have people like James O'Keefe, Laura Loomer, and just anybody else in the Twitter sphere or the X sphere now.
That's right.
We don't put up with it anymore.
No. Well, look at January. Look at Laura Logan doing the pieces that she's been doing.
I love her.
She's going to do 12. I love her. I think she's got 12 series to do, but she's on her 5th, I think. This stuff on January 6th is incredible, and there's much more to come.
And we all knew this. You know, conservatives all knew this.
That's right.
As we're watching it, but because you could just tell. But now that we're getting confirmation of everything that we already knew, and yet they're still going. We just had some old lady in Florida get arrested 3 years after.
Yeah, they're still arresting people.
Well,
so it's
they're
very
going
disgusting.
Right. The more, you know, the tighter the noose gets around them, then, you know, that's how they thrash out at us.
And the more fear they can instill in people.
Well,
but they're the ones who are fearful.
Yes.
Because again, control is a reaction to fear.
Right. And I've got to bring up the case, the situation that just came up this past weekend with this videotape of the gay two guys in the Senate chambers, right? I have to because you know,
I have all the memes ready.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Who is?
I know.
What I want to know is who is the guy plugging him? Nobody seems
Exactly.
that
He was a
seems-
foreigner, wasn't
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yes, George. Yes, he was.
Yes.
Well, that's the thing that is very interesting.
Mhm.
That senator didn't realize that they had a foreign that the fellow that was the video. What's the guy's name? What's the fellow's name that did the video?
The young
Some
kid.
Polak.
I don't remember the
or
young kid.
Aiden or something.
Aiden, that was it.
So,
Yes.
so
Some Polak.
so apparently they had some foreign, action or FOIA or something. He
Mm.
was a foreign affairs, and they don't know about it. The guy didn't. He seemed generally did not know what the reporter was saying to him.
Really?
So this
Yes.
stuff is, but see, now they're all on break because
Right.
I'll
So
tell
they
you,
can't talk about
I'll tell
it.
you something.
Yeah.
If I was in charge of the Senate and that happened, their fannies would be back in.
Oh yeah.
And there
This
would
is the
be
internet.
something
You can,
done.
You can say what
Oh,
you really
okay.
want.
Their asses would be right
Sadly,
inside there.
The Republicans in
We're
the
not
Senate
syndicated.
don't have the cojones that the Republicans in the House do, and they just seem to go along to get along.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
course. Well,
Particularly Rubio.
really what they should be
I
doing is
know.
the Senate renovations. Ben, picture number
Rubio.
19, please. I think the Babylon Bee had the perfect way with what they should be doing here. The janitors deep clean the Senate chamber with flamethrowers after what happened in the Senate chamber there. Of course, you have
Oh, yeah.
Biden's new logo, picture number 18, please. This is what Biden, you're going to be riding with Biden.
Riding
with
Biden.
And of course, Chad Prather pointed this out. Picture number 20, please. NBC News had this initial headline. The senator's office has parted ways with the staffer who conservative media outlets alleged was shown
Alleged.
in a leaked video having sex in the Senate hearing room. Chad said,
See?
we all see the dude putting the D in Democrat.
I mean, you see that?
But yeah, conservative news outlets, quote unquote.
Oh my!
And of course,
goodness.
this guy met Biden. We have the picture with him
Oh,
on
yes.
Biden's Instagram. Picture number 21, please.
Oh, yes.
You have this twink with Biden. Imagine, being that depraved and getting that close to the president.
Right.
I don't think
Well,
so.
he was a Senate staffer. Of course, he's going to
Right.
be able to get to
Of course.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
close to the president.
And then, of course, you want to talk about room for decency. Picture number 22. And he was just at America Fest, too. But he says, get out of here. You're a shameful disgrace. Like, no, I believe. Are you looking in
I
a
mean-
mirror?
Well, and again, Cardin,
Yeah.
you find out after the fact that Cardin and the other staff members
Uh-huh.
have tried to counsel this guy on numerous occasions to keep his social media book, because I guess
Yeah.
he was
Was posting tons of stuff
Yeah.
on his
He's
Reddit.
flagrant.
It was disgusting.
He's flagrant. That's what they call it, right? Flagrant.
flagrant
So-
flame.
So it is. I mean, it's true. I mean, the sad thing is that he was out of control.
Yeah.
And nobody stepped in.
Right.
So there's a reason that happens, though, because this kid knows a lot of stuff.
Yes.
That's my point.
He's ears in a room somewhere
Yeah.
hearing things that
He's-
he shouldn't be hearing.
He's got things in his pocket, behind his pocket. He's going to pull out. I mean,
Yeah.
they know that, you know.
Mhm.
And who was it? Cow
turd.
no, the
No, that's
the
cat turd.
congressman,
Cat turd.
the congressman
I
that was
love
in the
cat
wheelchair, the young congressman that was in the
Oh,
wheelchair.
Cawthorn. Madison
Cawthorn.
Cawthorn. All he posted was, I told you.
I told you.
He
And he
did.
did.
And that's why they
And
got
look
rid
what
of
they
him.
did to him.
And the Republicans got rid of him
And-
because he was wanting to
That's right.
tell everybody all about
Absolutely.
the Speaker of the House
Well,
there,
Yeah,
McCarthy,
McCarthy.
and
That's
all these
right.
people.
And
now you've got Santos out there. I love the headline.
Yes.
George Santos pours piping hot tea about former congressional colleagues.
Oh, yes.
And he's dishing on
Oh,
us. Say,
yes.
you want to get rid of
Yes,
me? Fine.
too.
But guess what?
Yeah.
I'm going to
Well,
expose all of you.
Good.
It's
Absolutely.
wonderful.
Well, I mean, and
like
then
they haven't exposed themselves.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
Been waiting
Well,
for that one.
Oh, yeah.
The funny thing too is that, you know, with all this, then there comes a story out, and of course, who doesn't know this, but you know, when you get in as a new senator or representative or whatever, they start to get to know you, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
they say, you know, they find out, do you like girls or do you like
Right.
boys?
Mhm.
I mean,
Do you like little
I was
girls
floored
and
at
little
this
boys?
report that came
Yeah.
out of saying that,
Yeah.
and then they go after you. So
Mhm.
then they get you. They find out who you are and what you're going to do and where your weaknesses are,
They compromise you.
and that's it.
Not only that, are you familiar with Whitney Webb?
Oh, yes.
A little bit. And I still need to read all of the books, but she wrote One Nation Under Blackmail,
Mhm.
2 volumes,
Oh,
each
right.
one
That's
that
right.
that thick. And she wrote it about wanting to dive into Jeffrey Epstein
Yeah.
and all of that. And she
Yeah.
said in her research, she lives in Chile now. She left the United States. She's from Sarasota.
Sarasota,
but she left and is in Chile and continues to do all this research. She's been on tons of shows. She's on Redacted all the time with that former Fox News guy, which I love him. And seeing him change over these years is incredible too.
Incredible.
But Whitney talking about how Jeffrey Epstein was just that cog. You know, he was the money guy, understood money, and then he understood influence. And it wasn't that they would see these people in office and then corrupt them. They would get them younger in college, which was where he was good at plucking kids out of college for finance jobs. They would get these kids in college, corrupt them then, and then put them into power and say, we already own you.
Absolutely.
And so he did it for more than just the U.S.
Absolutely.
Yes, exactly.
We have a generation, maybe 2 generations of pedophiles.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm telling you.
Oh, this episode's going to get yanked off of YouTube.
That's.
I don't even know why you bother.
I don't know.
I know. Sorry. Did I say something wrong?
No, it's fine. We don't.
Because if you don't, I will.
I know. Sorry.
That's fine.
I mean, I'm just saying it's just what's going on. I mean, you see so many people that are being arrested and then you know, there's a lot of stings going on and so forth, like Boston, the one that just broke Boston to DC. There's more to come out of that. I mean,
just look at our education system. Look at all the teachers.
And the military fellow that just got arrested with porn. He was running the schools on the military bases.
That's right.
Yes.
That guy,
DOD,
Yes. That's it's more. There'll be more. There'll be more and more and more because you go through that rabbit hole and you just, that's what's happening.
It's true.
And that's why they want to make it normal for kids to be seeing these books and grooming and teaching and teaching. And
I've been saying that for years on the show. It was probably 10 or 12 years ago when there was a story at the University of Pennsylvania. They were having seminars and sessions on normal.
Yes.
And
they're maps now.
Yeah.
Minor attracted persons.
Well, here's I got to tell you, there's a new little study that I was sent. I get people to send me, so I have a great team. And Epstein was they call them the Island Boys. Have you guys heard this?
Yes, I heard about this.
So a picture has started to come up in the social media, which, you know, I got to say, Twitter's doing really well with, you know, I mean, I got to thank Elon.
Thank God for Elon.
Elon for that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
As long as it lasts.
Right. I mean,
and follow us on X at Freedom Chronicles.
Well, that story broke yesterday, I think, and they had a picture of 6 of these little boys, and I'll tell you, these little guys look just like him.
Really?
And that's what he was doing, was, you know, breeding. And and they do that, you know, they have children and they use those children, and that's what happens. I mean, it's
disgusting.
It is, but it's
going to be so easy to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Without remorse.
Well, thank God. Hey, thank God the death penalty is being used in a case here in Florida.
Yeah, we'll
They're actually doing it. I mean, I was kind of concerned that they wouldn't. They have it here, but they wouldn't use it.
Right.
So I guess
considering we have an absentee governor currently.
Well, I know. I mean, I know. Yeah. I know. I wish he would just get back here. I really do. These guys don't understand. This is
in his latest,
not about them.
well, I want to get into the Colorado thing as well, but just quickly, since we're talking about DeSantis, he had the statement today on Newsmax where he was asked by the host if he was going to stand in solidarity with Vivek, which we love Vivek. We know he's not going to be president, but give him a cabinet position. And also remove himself from the GOP primary ballot in Colorado since President Trump has been removed. And not a shock, DeSantis said no. And he didn't even condemn the egregious act of election interference. No. DeSantis just comes out and says, oh, well, you know, it's just I'm in this to get the delegates, and, you know, the Democrats are going to do what they're going to do.
He's a barking seal.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a barking seal. But on the upside, the GOP of Colorado has suggested they may just go to a caucus instead of, so they don't have to worry about
it.
That's
right. That's right. They're just pulling all the strings they can pull, and it's going to continue. It's going to amp up as we get closer. It's going to strap yourselves in, people, for 2024. It's
only going to get worse before it gets better.
Stock up on the beans and rice.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a very interesting year, a very revealing year, and a very hard year as far as this fight.
But we're going to get through it.
Of
course.
And I think it is what do they say? It always is darkest before the light.
Yeah.
But
I think it's very exciting.
I do too.
I find it very exciting to me.
These are the times we were chosen to live in.
That's right. That's right. And
so we make the best of it.
That's right.
And figure out a way to win.
Well, we have to be the freedom fighters. We have to do that. Yes. We cannot take any more crap anymore. We can't stand along the sidelines anymore, which conservatives have been doing. Christians have been doing. And that's not what we do anymore. I know it's love your neighbor, but it's now, take care of your neighbors.
Yes.
Let's take care of each other. Let's fight this stuff, because this stuff is serious.
You have to, because this is the last great hope.
It is.
What bothered me watching some of the original debates when Tim Scott was still in was Tim Scott kept saying, "We are the shining city on a hill," and it drives me crazy because, dude, we were.
Cut it.
That happy can-do attitude, it's not going to cut it, because it's not good enough anymore.
No,
because so much has happened, and the evil has just presented itself out there so much.
That's right.
That you cannot just say we're just the best. We're still the best nation in the world.
Don't you find it funny how Tim Scott was saying we're the shining city on a hill, but we need to go bomb Iran?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's because we're the
money
shining
for
city.
Ukraine.
Yes. That we have all this money that we should give it to these people.
This is they're bleeding us. They're bleeding the American people.
Yeah.
They really are. I mean, we're bleeding out, and people. That's as a finance background I have, and of course compliance. I tell people all the time, understand when they say federal spending, that they're saying, I'm spending your money, taxpayers' money, and it's serious. Like we're over trillions and trillions now. We're not even in the billions anymore. It's insane what's going on. This money. I mean,
and it's just more. They just keep printing up more and sending it to people who don't deserve it. The people coming to the illegal aliens.
Oh my gosh,
terrorists,
this is terrible.
Pedophiles,
this is terrible.
Murderers, rapists coming across our border. They're getting our money. They're being treated better than our own homeless people are being
exactly right.
They're being treated better than our veterans are being treated. They're being treated in some instances better than our active duty military are being treated.
Absolutely.
Well, they're all woke anyway.
Absolutely. And
not the enlisted.
Not the enlisted. Just
the officers corps. The worst officers corps in the history of the United States military.
But see, that's an infiltration.
Yes,
that was an infiltration. The Democrats got these guys. They got these
started with Obama
generals. Yeah, that's right. And Mullen too. He's an Admiral Mullen. I mean, that guy. I mean, they did nothing. They did nothing. They let everything happen. All these wars, all this money, all this nonsense. It's crazy. We're not helping the world by doing what we've done. We're not. No. We're causing more harm to the world, and this country is still the country that people look to, and we have to stand up. If we've got everybody in the world looking at us still, it's going to be the people.
Yeah, it's going to have to be the people.
It's going to have to be.
I don't think
it's going to be our generation.
Yes,
right.
It's our not your generation, our generation. We have to be the ones that do this. I mean,
you ever wonder why we're sending an entire fleet of the Navy over to take on the Houthis in Yemen.
Exactly.
Yemen, who we just gave last year $5 billion to through USAID, i.e. the CIA.
That is a hub for
so
terrorists.
Explain to me how did that money do any good at all?
Yeah.
Where did the money go?
No, they don't have any. They have no audit trail. There's even the Ukraine. This guy. How about the reports of people? They're paying people to live over in Ukraine. They're buying their houses. They're giving people our money to better their lives,
and
not take care of the war.
Our money is supporting the Ukraine government, the Ukraine government pensions.
Yes. And the wife bought a huge diamond ring.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. And the shopping spree. Remember?
And the shopping spree.
And a lot of these weapons are winding up in Africa.
Yes.
Well, and what happens too? BlackRock invests in the war effort, and then
there's a place that needs an errant cruise missile.
Remember, folks, everything discussed in this podcast is solely
merely my
our opinion.
Absolutely.
And should be taken as such.
Yeah, in my opinion.
Yes. My humble opinion. But then, as the war goes on and cities get destroyed, what happens then? BlackRock then invests in the rebuilding effort.
Oh,
and
I
so
know.
it's money
a
coming and
racket.
going
It's a
on both
racket.
sides of it.
But it's good to see Tennessee suing BlackRock.
Yeah,
Yes.
good.
Yeah, more and more that
Mhm.
should. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
it really should. I mean, people. Hopefully, I mean, more and more lawyers are stepping up. I got to say, I've been surrounded by some really good constitutional lawyers that are
Good.
really doing. We're doing some
Good to know they
incredible work.
exist.
I
yeah.
know. Well, we're in the we just got America's Future just received. We filed an amicus brief on the Fletcher versus United States case, and we are the first. We got it. The Supreme Court heard our amicus, and we won it.
Good.
And
Explain to our
Yeah.
viewers about the
the Fletcher is the J6. Okay, so what will happen is it will help thousands of people who have been unconstitutionally charged or threatened or any of this J6 stuff, including President Trump. It could help his case in New York.
Good.
If this wins, and
Mhm.
and it's a very strong case. So it's really important that this case comes through the Supreme Court. If we were the only ones that filed it and they read our case, it was very good for them to choose that case.
Yeah.
So
Good.
that makes a lot. It makes
Mhm.
a lot of difference.
How does how's the organization doing up in Northport? You getting local people starting to get involved up there?
Yeah, we do. I mean, our summit made a huge impact in this state. Our presence, like I said, we had 65, well, actually 70 people that trained in this very comprehensive certification through ARC, which is Association of Recovery of Children. They're the oldest recovery of children since
Wow.
1993. Basil Baz, the guy's incredible. He was down a Black Hawk Down.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
the guy's he's brilliant, and his whole team. I mean, if anybody knows what's going on, it's this team, and so they trained quite a few people in Florida, and they're forming a leadership group themselves, and they're going to get very organized, which is really good because we have to train and teach the neighborhoods because
Yes.
okay, so the border has caused
Mhm.
children. We know children. Tara Rodez, we know all that. Children were brought in under 85,000, more than 85,000 children have been brought. They're still coming in and moving them around.
Mhm.
There's a tidal wave that's going to come across the country, and it's already moving up.
Mhm.
And it's children, it's supply and demand. And so, we got to be ready in our neighborhoods to know what to do and to know what to look for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have to hold legislators, we have to hold leaders, we have to hold, even the city hall, what you guys we call them clerks, but the commissioners here, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The county commissioners.
And law enforcement. When you see something, report it.
Yeah.
And I mean, report it. Don't
Yeah.
think you're being a pain in the neck. Report it. I learned this in my own experience with my own children up in New England, which is unbelievably communist.
Oh, yeah.
As we speak, it got worse. It's the worst, probably the worst area there is.
Yeah.
That you say, you got to report it. Well, I didn't report it. I didn't feel like reporting it. Should I report it? Report it.
Want to get involved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just having things on record,
Mhm.
but do it for the kids, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Report it for children.
What are some of the things that
Well,
people can look out for?
Here's some of the things. So in your neighborhood, and this has happened twice. I've had Inglewood and
Northport's got a lot of registered sex offenders.
Absolutely. I mean, all people have to do is call your local officer, your police department, and ask how many. I need a report. Can I pick up a report on how many sex offenders living? There's 3 of them that live down the road where I live.
Wow.
That's a constant
Yeah.
thing that families should be doing.
Yeah.
You should be actively asking law enforcement for those data, that information. Okay. But also there are things like tagging cars in your neighborhood, certain colors, certain
Yeah. Understand who lives in your neighborhood.
exactly.
Yeah.
And know what a house, because a lot of them are buying up houses cash. and they're the cash houses. They may not. I've got one. My daughter lives on the other side. She's got a house right next door to where all of a sudden there's all these cars in that house, and like, people coming back and forth. Pay attention to those things.
Right.
And then businesses. There was a business up in Sarasota that was reported, and it looked like it was a dive of a place, and it had blackout windows up top. But all of a sudden, in the middle of the night,
it'd be
all these
popping.
fancy
all these
people
cars.
were walking in with all their stuff. And, you got to pay attention to, cash is key with these criminals. I mean, it's what it is. And I, unfortunately, and I don't, it's like 3-4% of law enforcement are bad. I forget the data, but it's not much. But what you got to remember is it is enough. It shouldn't be any. But what you got to remember is that they're not trained enough. They're really about 5 years behind. I know this because we train, and we have law enforcement that are training with us, and they're like, wow,
I had no idea.
I can't believe this stuff. I mean, they're learning from victims.
Right.
So that's what we're teaching.
And even for protecting kids, but for women or just younger kids as well, just that idea of be aware of your surroundings.
Absolutely.
That's
And
number
their-
one.
and their
Especially,
phones. Awareness.
situational awareness.
And their phones.
Yes.
So parents need to not give, this is not a babysitter.
No.
This phone is not a babysitter. And by the way, I am all for having children stay off social media until they're 18 years old. At this environment today,
the way it is now,
the environment today, every child is a victim.
Potential
They're
victim.
being
Yep.
potentially,
Yes.
there is a predator. In those gaming, all that internet stuff
Yep.
is dangerous.
There's a portal somewhere.
And I'm a
It's
grandmother.
dangerous for us too. I go
Yeah.
on
It
X.
is.
How many of these fake Chinese women
Oh, yeah.
are trying to friend me?
Oh,
my
Mr.
goodness.
Lovejoy.
Like,
Oh, Mr. Lovejoy, love your shiny head. Love your shiny head.
You old man, you need short time?
Oh my
Yeah.
And with that, I think we should go to music break. Folks, if you're enjoying this show, let us know. Make sure you drop a comment down below. Hit that like button. If you're watching this on YouTube, which you probably aren't, go take it over to Rumble and subscribe on the Rumble page. Share it with your friends. That's what it's all about. And you can help support the show as well by joining our locals community. Once you subscribe on Rumble, there's a little red button next to that says join. Hit that join button and join us over in the locals community. Maybe we'll get Mary to stick around and do a bottom of the stack with us after the show. You can catch that on the locals channel. And then also you can support the show by checking out the shop. I'm wearing my If Not Us Who, If Not Now When JFK shirt right
Did
there.
you watch
see
that
it.
after last
You
week?
see that?
Yeah, no, last week.
I had
too.
the other one on last week.
That's
All right.
great.
I don't know.
I'm sure you
Thank
wash
you.
it. That's
Well,
all.
I do. I always wash it.
Okay.
At least my mother washes it.
Okay, yeah.
And you go check out the Freedom Chronicles shop. Get loud locally with Freedom Cow. It was your brother Joe that helped us come up with that
Yes,
too.
that's
Oh,
true.
Joe's
Yeah,
good.
that's
Oh,
right.
yeah, Joe's good.
That's
Joe was one of the first guests on the
Yeah,
Freedom
he was.
Chronicles, so
Yep.
we got to get him
Shout
back
out
on the
to
show.
Joe, my
Shout
How's
out
baby
Joe
to
brother.
doing? How's
Yes.
he doing?
He's great. He's great, Joe.
Good,
he's
good.
he's great. He's always pushing buttons. He's on.
He
social
looks like a button.
Oh yeah,
We got along great.
Oh yeah, this
yeah.
was fun.
He'll call us. Or what? He'll call
Yeah.
it out.
Nice. So Joe, if you're watching, come back on the show soon.
Yeah.
We're working our way up to
Absolutely.
Michael,
Yeah.
Love to get Mike.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
one of
these days.
Get the
Well, we
general.
will. We'll get
Yes,
Mike.
That'd be great.
Right. So enjoy this. This is my band, Mike Imbasciani, is Blues Rockers. And we have the Liberty Concert Series coming up as well. I have a picture of that somewhere. We'll talk about it coming out of the music. But this is Please Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood.
Do you understand me now? Sometimes I get a little mad. Don't you know that no one alive can always feel angel? Things go wrong, I see bad. But I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood.
stuff. And yes, picture number 8, please, Ben. The Liberty Concert Series is coming back starting in January here in the new year. 3 different concerts. Thursday, January 18th with headliner Dina Napolitano. Thursday, February 29th, which is Leap Day. We have a Leap Day this coming year with headliner Biscuit Miller and his blues band. And then Thursday, March 28th with country band The Boots and my band, Mike Imbasciani and his Blues Rockers, will be opening each show. Is going to be over at the Historic Women's Club there in downtown Punta Gorda. Lots of fun. People can get their tickets at DejaVuVentures.com. Going to be fun.
Yeah.
So, Mary, tell us about this documentary you have here.
Yeah.
The Where Did the Children Go?
So, my great friend Tara Rodez was the whistleblower who testified against HHS, which is a talk about money this agency gets. It's probably maybe top 3 that gets the most money in this country, and they do foster care and unaccompanied alien. I mean, they do all kinds of stuff. HHS, very, very big agency in our country. So she testified because she found in Pomona in California these children were being shipped out, brought in, put in the system, but then when she went a little further, they were taken out.
Right.
So that's how they were missing.
Wow.
So they were gone.
Yeah.
And when she found they were gone, basically that's the short story of what she did. And then what they did was they started to, all the other contractors, this video showed 2 contractors. One was a caseworker. The other one was Carlos, who is the guy who moved the kids around. He was the guy who the transport guy. And then Tara and her friend Debbie, they were the federal, they worked for the government, the federal workers.
Gotcha.
And so they came out. I mean, good enough for her. She's just such a brave person that she made them understand how serious that we need to come forward, because that's the problem that we have is they get afraid. And,
I bet.
And their jobs and their livelihood, and they wreck people. They wreck their lives. And Tara she just went at it, and good enough for her supervisors. They stood by her side, and they still do.
Yeah,
that's good.
And so this video was them sitting around and talking about everything that had happened, and a lot of information came out.
Yeah.
While you sit around and talk, you can get it. And they were very
connect
candid.
all the dots. Yeah.
Yeah. They were very candid about it. And, Carlos talks about how, in the middle of the night, gets a call. You got to go here. There's, 10 kids waiting. You got to, middle of the night, transport these kids.
Yeah.
And bring them to places where then they're supposed to turn them over to these vetted people, which are not vetted. They have no idea who these people are. They have to only show a license. And many of the licenses were fake.
Yeah, of course.
So this stuff all started to unravel. And this video we put together with a great crew producer that Tara really wanted to get this out. So we did it, and we exposed it, and it got over, it's close to 2 million.
Said, right?
That's
views
fantastic. Yeah.
right now.
Americasfuture.net.
Yeah.
Yeah. Find the video there. Check it out.
And it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing. It made a huge impact. And after this video, back up the senators and Congress, whoever wanted to talk to Tara and the crew, and they do. They continuously, talk to these people.
Good.
But the problem is like they're active with us. Tara is very active with us. She goes to our summits and speaks, and she's involved with a lot of things. She's also, still fighting for children.
Yeah.
So
good.
You got to stay out there or they get you.
Indeed.
You do. And I mean,
we've
talked about The Sound of Freedom that came out, that of course was filmed in 2017 and got shelved until finally it was just released.
Yeah. And that's actually old.
Yeah.
Right.
That's an old story.
Old story. At this
Old
point.
news.
Right.
Yeah.
But I also just rewatched Taken for the first time in a long time.
Taken.
And again,
Which one?
The first one.
The first one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will find you and I will kill you.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Very
specific.
Yeah. So
skills.
just to give you an idea of that Sound of Freedom, we have intel 8 years ago, people stopped having to go out of the country to rape a child.
Oh yeah,
8
it's
years.
all here.
So that's Obama, right?
Right.
And
Killed
that's,
tourism in Thailand.
yeah. So that's what happened. You know, that movie shows that
Right.
they had to go out then.
Yes.
That's how old that is.
Mhm.
And it's still, you know, I mean, the international trafficking is incredible.
Mm.
You know.
Well, with the border wide open,
Ukraine.
I
Well,
saw
you've got
Tim
the
Ballard.
border wide open.
Yeah.
You've got the government who is actually facilitating a lot of this child trafficking through NGOs. And you were a
Yes, they
auditor
are.
for the Catholic Church
I
for a long
was.
time.
I
What's
testified.
your reaction to what the Pope
Well,
is
it's
doing?
it's terrible. It's terrible. It's in a schism. It's in a total schism. If any Catholic doesn't believe what I'm saying, then you're crazy. Go stop being, you know, blind to this. This is an agenda. He's a globalist. He's a communist.
Oh yeah.
And this man is trying to, you know, push this one world religion, and it isn't even a Catholic faith religion. It is, and he doesn't want anything to do with traditional Catholics, which is what we are.
Right.
That's what Catholic faith is, the traditional faith.
Yeah.
And so, no, it's terrible what he's doing.
He's destroying the Catholic Church.
He is single-handedly doing this. And what's very amazing to me, and I've always said this, is it all starts at the Vatican.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Behind the walls.
It all starts with the Vatican.
Yeah.
And that's why the children are so important,
Mhm.
because they want children.
Yeah.
And that's what fuels this
Mhm.
whole, this is what makes their money. This is what fuels everything, is children. And whatever it is they're doing.
And whether it's the
harvesting,
indoctrination
they're
of
doing-
children as well for the future generations.
Because they're going to build more
Yeah.
sickness in
Mhm.
our society. And
Yeah.
it is a sick society right
Yes.
now. We have open, you know, fornication going on in areas, and not only just the Senate, but
I was
we
gonna
have
say,
it,
it's
which is
Senate.
the worst.
Yeah,
but
right.
on the streets, even these parades
Yes.
that are
Oh,
going
yeah.
on,
In front of children.
It's
Yeah.
you know, open and out there, and you know, anybody that says, oh, you know, whatever they do, there's no time for that.
No.
There is not even.
They
I don't
tried
even wanna
that.
hear
They
that.
tried that.
Oh,
Oh,
my
whatever you do
goodness.
in your house is fine, you know.
Yeah.
But now they
No.
always
It's beyond
push.
that.
It's so
No.
far beyond that. It's sickening.
No.
What did
And-
Millet say?
Yeah.
You give the socialists an inch, and they will use it to hang you.
That's
Well,
right.
and yeah, and I'm
That's
pretty
right.
sure that's been around a lot
Sounds like 'em.
longer than that. And my point is, like we jokingly said, this is our Christmas episode, and I now have
know.
my Ted Nugent hat on.
Oh.
Come and take it. But this is Christmas time, folks watching.
Yeah.
I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas, and you go out and you sit around your dinner table with your family. And in my case, I get Lovejoy to show up.
Yeah.
And you have the opportunity to have conversations with people that you otherwise might only see twice a year: Thanksgiving, Christmas, probably not Easter. And so you look them square in the eye and you say, did you hear about what happened in the Senate hearing room? Did you hear about that? No, because the cycle goes so fast.
Yeah.
You
Right.
have to shove it in their face,
You do.
because these people have no problem shoving it in our face.
No.
And so they have to understand this is an evil that is happening right in front of our eyes, because they don't hide it. They literally film it and put it on the internet.
right.
They're that stupid.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the devil loves to show.
Oh, yeah.
He's a bragger.
Yes.
And he loves symbols, and
Mhm.
that's all true.
Yeah.
That's all true.
Right.
So, you know, let him show us, because
Yeah.
that's where they're
And
going
that'll
to
be
get
the news
catch.
that we hang them with.
That's right. That's
Yes.
going to be their downfall.
Yes.
And that's been said many years ago.
Mhm.
The symbols of their downfall.
Yes.
And-
Particularly pride.
Yes.
Yes.
Pride.
Pride.
Very
Mhm.
pride.
Pride goeth
Yeah.
before the fall,
Oh, I
and
know,
it's
I
one of the
know.
7 deadly sins.
Oh,
I know. And, you know,
And they've got it hanging up in classrooms. I love. There was a congressman in one of the northern counties representing or state rep
Mhm.
in one of the northern counties submitted a bill the other day to ban anything other than the state flag and the American flag
Oh,
in
good.
classrooms, colleges, and
Absolutely.
government buildings.
Mhm.
Wholeheartedly
get
agree
ready.
with that.
Get ready,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I just heard a report on that too, and a guy stood up and said, "I'm not putting anybody else's. If they think they're going to put anybody else's flag, that's another thing that people need to understand."
Yeah.
Because you saw that when what's his name, Ching Ching, came through, and all the you know,
Oh, yeah.
all the
geez,
flags.
So
were
talk
all
about Fang Fang.
Fang-
No, that was-
zing zing.
yeah.
You know, they had the flags.
No, the
like it
Cabbage
was-
Patch Communist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, God. That will bring us to our Patriot and Traitor of the week. So, Mary, you are our guest. Who is your Patriot of the week?
Oh, let's see. My Patriot of the week is Mike Smith.
Mike Smith.
Michael Smith. He is going to. He's been fighting hard. He did the movie Out of Shadows.
That's right.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. that's
Okay.
Yes.
right.
I saw that one,
All
and
right.
I saw his latest
Okay?
one,
Into the
Into
Light.
the Light. Yes.
So
Mhm.
this man has given everything up, and
Mhm.
he's been highly. They have stolen. They've already stolen the Into the Light, so it's been out there without his permission, right?
Right, of course.
And then censored huge. They still won't release Out of Shadow, and the guy is building a huge co-op for the American people.
Good.
This guy's been working. He's lost everything, all his, livelihood and everything, thrown out of Hollywood, exposed so much. And we have Pizzagate with Liz Krogan on that. So no, they're both
Pizzagate's
patriots.
true, folks, in case
Pizzagate's
you
true.
haven't
Pizzagate's
heard.
true. Absolutely.
Yep.
So he's my hero because they're going to launch it again.
Good.
And they're trying hard to get Elon to release Out of Shadow. So I
Yeah.
got to give it to him
Good.
and that crowd, you know.
Good.
And knowing Elon, really, I think he wants to see the things himself, and then he'll say,
He
do it.
does. He
Yeah.
does. He
Yeah.
does.
He
Well,
did that with Alex Jones,
That's right.
because all it took was a Tucker interview
I know.
with Alex Jones, and there you
I
go.
know,
And
I
it
know.
was one of the best things.
Well, we've got General Flynn taking this Thursday. We're relaunching Out of Shadows and Into the Light, and General Flynn's in the movie Into the Light, and a few other people. Laura Logan is. We'll all be on
Good,
this
yeah.
relaunch,
Awesome.
because it's a series. It's
Yeah.
a sequence to the Out of Shadow.
Right, Out of Shadow and then Into the
And,
Light. Yeah, I've seen both of them. They're
So we're
fantastic.
going to launch that again this week. Because
Good.
people need
Good.
to see that movie.
Yeah,
They'll,
definitely.
they'll know what to do. They'll know what to,
Yes.
and they'll know why they have been mind controlled and brainwashed.
Oh,
if-
yeah.
if they watch that movie.
The media is
That's what it's
perfect,
for.
yeah. Mhm. Ken, who's your Patriot?
George Santos.
Okay. All right.
I'm serious.
All right.
He, Athena Thorne over at PJ Media had an article about him, and there's also an accompanying video interview, and the guy, maybe he's conservative because of the way that he was treated,
Right. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But he's coming out, and once again he's pouring hot tea. He's outing
Pouring the hot tea.
everybody in
Yes.
in the House and the Senate, and just he's along with Cawthorn is exposing the evil and the sickness, the sexuality, the drug use that's going on in the House and in the Senate.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they got rid of him for what a stupid reason that the Republicans went out of their way to get rid of the guy.
Yeah.
But they got rid of him, and now he's going after them. He's naming names, and
Good.
you
Laura
read the
Loomer.
article, you see this guy is conservative.
Yeah. Laura Loomer just posted her interview with him as well. So
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. I
Good.
love
more and
her.
more, like I said.
love her. She's something.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
a fighter.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she's just day by day exposing.
Mhm.
Yeah, Laura Loomer, Laura Logan.
I know.
The two
Yeah.
Lauras.
I mean,
Love them both.
It's a
Love
shame. It's a shame we've got like the Ziegler scandal, and we've
I
got,
know.
you know,
Yeah.
the guy who killed himself up there, who committed suicide. You know, I mean, these people were
Well,
donors.
unfortunately, the Zieglers did it to themselves.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
I
that's
know.
what's coming out. It's like these Republicans, they're doing it to themselves.
Well, they are. I mean,
and
Yeah.
he should have. They should just resign and get their act together instead of trying to fight this.
Oh, yeah.
And I find it. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
you've got the state GOP who has taken all his Christian Ziegler's power away and reduced his salary down to $1.
Yeah.
But has the governor gotten rid of Bridget in the school board yet?
No, we
she's
haven't.
still on the Disney board.
Not right.
as
It's-
well.
They should all be ashamed of themselves, and they should walk away and put their heads
Yes.
and go say some prayers.
Yeah,
Honestly,
exactly.
they need to do that. They
Yes.
need to, just for the
Because
thought
are
of it.
we going to be the party that is just like the Democrats?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And that's exactly
they
what's
took-
happening if we allow this.
They took we have to fight like Democrats to the wrong level.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
What is it? Bridget put the B in
Absolutely.
LGBTQ.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, My Patriot of the Week goes out to Michael Cassidy, picture number 13, please, because you may remember, again, the news cycle goes by so fast, but this man right here, because you remember this, picture number 14, please. The Iowa State Capitol had this. Oh, yeah.
My buddy's out there. She sent that to me. She was...
Well, this was the before picture, but once Michael Cassidy was done, you have picture number 15. Yes. And this, it takes patriots. Trashed it. And picture number 16 just really, puts it together well. I have infiltrated your schools and nope. See ya. Oops. But really, if there was ever a picture that summed up the Democrat Party perfectly, it's picture number 17, please. Right there.
Yep.
That about sums it up.
Wow.
And so it takes, patriots to get loud locally and knock over little aluminum foil nonsense.
Satan hats.
Satan hats. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. Who is your traitor of the week?
Traitor.
Yeah. Whoa. This is the fun one. This is the one that it's hard to pick.
Traitor.
There's so many. I know.
There's a lot.
Tough. Tough each week.
There's a lot. There's a few that I could call that are after my brother, but that I don't care for. But I don't know. Traitor. Traitor. Biden. I gotta say, Biden is the guy.
He's made the traitor list here several weeks in a row.
His family is
the whole family.
Yes.
Yeah,
the whole family.
Really. They are a criminal entity.
Yes.
They're what I grew up with. In the mob, and they were better people than these guys are. They were at least
the mob had respect.
Well, wait a minute.
The mob had certain morals.
Well, wait a minute. They were actually practicing Catholic.
Yeah, right.
These
and
guys,
they didn't hurt kids.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. They would never
just got
do
done
that.
garroting this guy. Got to go to confession.
Yeah.
They had standards.
They had standards.
Exactly. They did. So I would say that on and on. He's the occupier to me.
Yeah. Well, he is the occupier, and he does obviously he's gone. Like he's just gone at this point.
Yeah.
But for the people to say, "Oh, I feel bad for Biden because he got dementia," no, I don't feel bad for Biden. Right? He deserves everything he gets, and he is such an evil person.
Yes.
Again, it is his whole family. Hunter ain't working for Hunter. Hunter's working for Joe.
Absolutely.
And so it is the big guy.
Oh yeah.
It is the ever so family dictatorship that he wants.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
He is number one.
Oh, come on, show the better picture of Hunter and Joe together. You know you have that one. There it is.
It's like embarrassing to have these people say
two
they're
guys
Catholics.
Who never
to me,
always skip leg day.
As a Catholic, that to me is embarrassing.
It is.
It's very embarrassing. And unfortunately, the Catholic Church there's a downfall of the laity. Like them, those people that used the church to better themselves, because that's what they did.
Right.
They did
financially, not morally.
No, financially. And then their kids got married there and baptized there and all that kind of stuff. You know, that's what they did with the Catholic Church. It's about money.
Yep.
He's a traitor.
Yes.
BlackRock, Larry Fink, the whole crew.
Yeah.
Yes,
the whole crew. I hope that what they have, their investors should be suing them because their whole dive into ESG has lost a lot of their investors' money. And it's not a financially winning strategy to get involved in ESG. No. But again, you want to talk about the epitome of corporate fascists. We're the corporation telling government what to do.
Yeah.
It's BlackRock, traitors, one and all.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Since you took Biden, I was going to take Biden. I'll save my Biden story for the bottom of the stack episode. So join us on Locals for that. So my traitor of the week today, I'll give it to the Colorado Supreme Court.
Oh yeah,
because of course,
4 out of the
4. Yeah,
4 out of the 7.
Somebody posted a picture. It might have been Pozo on X showing what one of the judges looked like, and it has like the lesbian cut, and it looks like Rachel Maddow. And somebody said, "Gee, I wonder how she voted." Every time.
The 4 judges who voted to take Trump off, all Ivy League,
of course,
law schools.
Yeah.
The 3 other ones, state.
Yeah.
law
What
schools.
Babylon
right.
B had a great one that said, proud parent puts bumper sticker of not a Harvard mom. You know.
Yeah, this should be, you would think, destroying Ivy League schools.
Yeah.
Harvard in particular.
Yeah.
I mean, with the whole gay thing.
Yep.
And then you look at I mean, the president gay,
Yeah,
not the
that's
whole
right.
gay thing.
Right.
Though she does. So I do
I
call
mean-
her. the whole lesbian Urkel.
Well, donors
thing.
are running from them.
Yes, good,
you know,
as
it's
they
happening.
should.
As they
It's
should.
happening.
Yeah. Let them
You know,
crumble. Again,
yeah.
let them crumble.
And they will. Yeah, that's the best thing Americans can do is stop giving money to them.
Oh, yeah.
Boycott the heck out of them.
Mhm.
I mean, really.
Works for Bud
Even
Light.
the church.
Well, it's working for
Don't
the
give them any
RNC
money.
too.
That's
Yeah.
right.
The RNC is down big time,
Big
and that's
time.
what I've been saying.
Big
Pick your
time.
individual candidates,
That's
give
right.
directly to the campaign.
And make
right.
sure it's
Don't give to
directly to
these
the
PACs,
campaign.
don't give to these
Yeah.
Senate groups, the
That's right.
House groups, the
Mhm.
RNC. Keep your
No.
money away from these
No,
people.
no, we do. You got to stop throwing money away. It's you know, in your faith as a Christian, you should never do that.
Yeah.
You really should never do
Well, because
that.
these people act like, oh, we're fighting for you, so
But
you
they're
should give
not.
us your money.
Yeah.
No.
And there's still
Lies.
so many organizations out there using Trump's likeness and
Oh,
Trump's
I
picture
know.
to take
Oh,
your
yeah.
money, and it's not going anywhere
Oh, it's
near Trump.
awful.
So
It's awful.
Yeah.
That's awful.
be careful.
But speaking about Colorado, too, even RFK had this tweet this morning.
Oh,
Trump
yeah.
blocked from the ballot in Colorado when a court in another country disqualifies an opposition candidate from running. We say that's not a real democracy. Now it's happening here.
Yeah.
I
Did you
forget.
hear anything about that from White Lizzo?
No.
Or from Haley?
No, I
Or
know.
from
Nope.
DeSantis? No, nothing
Nope.
like that. RFK steps up.
No.
Yeah, he might be a commie when you really get down to it.
He's got a problem. He's got some, Second Amendment issues.
Oh.
He's
Oh,
got
yeah, he's still a
issues.
Democrat.
Yeah, he's still a socialist.
and
but
he's not pro. I'm sorry,
He's not pro-life.
Not pro-life.
No.
I mean, that I'm not done with that stuff.
No.
I'm not letting them get away with that. I'm not. There's no more of that. There is no more reason to have abortions anymore. It's just not. It's just
I was pro-life except
Yeah.
for them 3 times.
yeah.
Yeah. There was also, I forget what the president was. I forgot to add it to the Dropbox for pictures. But another president of some other country said the United States no longer gets to lecture any other country
I saw
about
that.
democracy
I saw
because
that.
they have none.
I saw that.
So good. Yeah. We're a laughing stock to the country. And all you have to do, we have this video. Ben, please play this video. The Christmas at the White House, then versus now.
Oh,
Let's
my
play this video. This is,
It's creepy.
right?
It's like
Just the music. It's
Jack Nicholson.
shining. Well, that's what somebody did
Somebody did.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The kid put the kid on the big wheel.
on the big wheel.
Oh yeah.
But you have Biden's White House and the lady, close your mouth, lady. It's so creepy. And that's
And the guy with the rabbit hat on.
yeah,
The ears.
mask, the whole mask.
No.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Well,
Evil.
there's symbols.
Evil. It is.
But
Yeah.
there's symbols in there
Yep.
that they're,
But the
showing
bottom
us.
one was Trump's White House. Elegant, beautiful, the Christmas
Oh,
trees,
yeah.
the nativity. Gee, go
Class.
figure.
Well, class.
It was class.
Very
well,
much.
and somebody pointed out, it might have been my mother, that in Biden's Christmas one, I get most of my news from her.
We both do.
Yeah, we're in the group chat. We'll add you to that.
I love it.
She pointed out it just looks like a little kid's Christmas,
Yeah.
which is what Biden needs because
Yeah.
up here, that's where he's
Yeah.
at.
I
Yeah.
need some new adrenochrome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
But Mary, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, you're
we really
welcome.
appreciate
I
it.
totally enjoy sitting around.
It goes
here with
by
you
fast,
guys.
doesn't it?
I know.
And so tell folks where they can reach you. Obviously, americasfuture.net.
Yeah, americasfuture.net, and we're getting ready to go to Illinois, and we just
Ooh,
finished
be
Michigan.
careful.
We had a big, we're,
Take a knife.
we're going there. We just came from Detroit, so
Wow.
and we did really well. I mean, we had
Good.
There's a lot of conservatives in Michigan,
Yeah.
and you just
Yeah.
wonder how the heck it would
Yeah.
Michigan turned into what it
Mhm.
is
yeah,
politically.
it's a mess. It's politically the environment is tough.
Yeah.
It's tough, and there's 78%. I think it's 76 or 78% of Michiganders that are generation
Yes.
there,
Mhm.
which is great, but there's nobody moving there. They have
Right.
no new
Everybody's
kind of
leaving.
because
Everybody's dying off.
you
or
drive
leaving.
around there and it's like it's like a dark cloud, and it was like that when we were up there. It was like a dark cloud
Yeah.
over Detroit, and there's this. You see the auto, dealers and the manufacturers. It's just sad again to see that, And that's a border state. So that was an interesting, summit to go to. We brought Jason Jones up there, who's doing some incredible work down on the border. But that border, they move them from one border, the south border, to the northern border.
Yeah.
So, and that border is much easier to get into because we have
Of
a
course.
commie up there. So,
Yeah.
you know, so now we're in Illinois. We're going January 26th and 27th. So join us.
Great.
We're going around the country. My brother says 50 states, but I don't know. That's going to kill me.
But all
that's
that
okay.
all that info's at americasfuture.net.
Yes, thank you.
Excellent. Check it out, folks. Thank you for watching. Come join us on the locals. We got some other stories we're going to talk about, and join us over there and subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate it. From the bunker, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Freedom in its hour of maximum danger.
Mike, perhaps you recognize me. It's your favorite president.
In this present crisis, government is not the solution.
Hi,
to our
good night,
problem.
everybody.
Government is the problem.